Welcome back to Angliss Reserve here at the Footscray Lacrosse Club in the west of Melbourne for the 2022 Lacrosse Australia Senior National Championships. We just saw a cracking contest previously between South Australia and Western Australia. The SA boys getting the win there. And this afternoon, we're bringing you New South Wales and Queensland, both teams looking for their first win of the week. So plenty on the line for both teams. A bit of a state of origin clash as well. So we saw the Reds get the win in the rugby the other day. Can the Blues get one back on the lacrosse field this afternoon? Guess we'll have to wait and see to find out. Lachlan Williams behind the microphone for you once again. As we're about to get things underway. And we are off. Straight away, New South Wales hitting the back of the net. Ryan Landell's wasting no time to put that one away. Trying to break a speed record there. Great start to this contest for the team in blue. Henry Kumar in the middle for New South Wales, winning that one forward and attacking the cage straight away. And see if they can do the same now. Taking on Daniel Taylor, who puts up a better fight this time. Big hit there in the middle from Queensland. I think they're... No, we're just going to let it go. And a good ground ball from Greg Bren, but there is a whistle out in the play. Not exactly sure what was the call there. So Queensland will take it forward for the first time. Aaron Lua, an Altona player, stepping in to help out the Queenslanders this week. Good experience for him. Across to Lachlan Shanahan and back through X now, Queensland. Brody Shield just carries and plenty of pressure being put out on Taylor. So Shield just has to tuck it and run and beats his man, gets a shot off. But good save there from Tim Kudrin in the cage for New South Wales. Good outlet look to Saul Albertine on the transition. So we'll just have to settle as players transition forward. He's got Jared Neal to his left, but uses Dave Estaclay on his right, who's going to carry behind the cage. They'll just settle a little bit here, New South Wales. Landau's the first goal scorer. Feeds across the crease there, but just a missed pass from Cliff. So Queensland take possession. Good pass upfield to Taylor. Playing captain out there, playing coach, sorry, out there, Dan Taylor. So tough job, but good to have a leader out there. Good ground ball one from New South Wales. Jared Neal just streaming upfield, finds tries to find Cliff cross crease, but that's found the back of the net. So I think we might have just missed that one. Might have just been out of camera. So the pass across crease, just the keeper's come to put out pressure on Cliff, and it's hit the back of the net. So I think this is Neal. Let's try to look for Cliff, and we did catch that one. So maybe a little fortuitous, just unlucky there for the Queenslanders. Keeper Liam Hackett just stepping out to keep Cliff from driving to the crease by himself, but in the process just losing sight of the ball and it hits the back of the net. Ethan. Taylor. Over to Lua and kicks down. Padmanabhan. But well swooped up from the keeper, and they're away through the middle once again, New South Wales. They've got numbers if they want to go early, but they just settle things down. Tyler Nolf at the top, one of their leaders here for New South Wales. Down to Cliff. Into the crease. Ball's loose. Taylor fakes one way, goes another. Looks upfield to the supporting player, and it's a big hit there. Well done from Queensland to put their body over the line there. It was Tegan Retty on that occasion, keeping the ball for the Maroons. And good heat from New South Wales to force the turnover. Fluker that'll come up with it now. Young player Angus Fluker from the Footscray Lacrosse Club, filling in for New South Wales this week. Just a missed pass on the clear there. And Lua is going to make it pay. There's a flag down and another big hit after the pass as well. So I think we're going to see a second flag. I think we're just going to stop the clocks for a second as well, just as we sort things out. Yeah, so we've got two separate calls there. One was for a 30-second hold, and the other is a illegal body check. Just Aaron Lua copping a bit of a late hit previously. Playing with the long stick on the man up, Queensland. It's a bit different. Ethan Richards out there in the number 10 with the ball now and just missing the pass, and they've turned it over now. New South Wales to take the ball forward. Up the line. The double comes for New South Wales. And they'll settle now, Esther Clay. It'll be a turnover for Queensland. The long bomb upfield. Taylor on the outlet. Has the man coming from the box. Rewards the run. Kicks it down. Shot. So it's back of the net. Not a save. Great goal there from Queensland. Siddharth Padmanabhan. Number 22 getting it done for Queensland. And Sid, hopefully I've got your name pronunciation there, because that was a great goal. Stepped in, backed himself in, high to low, and a tidy finish. We'll see a bit of a mix-up here in the centre, a couple of different faces. So it'll be Aaron Lua for Queensland. And Fluker hustles on the ground ball, can't pick it up, but continues to put the pressure on. And follows up now, Fluker. Curries down the wing. Pressure comes from behind, but works up the field. Thought they might have caught a piece of maroon, but referee saying it was off the blue stick, so we will get back underway with Queensland in possession. New South Wales leading this one 2-1, early stages. Both teams, as a reminder, looking for their first win of the week. The pass from Taylor, teammate not quite expecting that one, so it's been turned over, and well done there to get out of trouble and carry upfield. Good hit there. And they'll get a bit of a set here in New South Wales for the first time in some time. It's been back and forth and down Queensland's end for a little while, but they will keep the ball here. So as a reminder what this game means, obviously both teams hunting their first win as the pass comes into Cliff, unable to collect, but picks up the ground ball now. Victoria and Western Australia locked in for the championship game. Cliff just misses wide. Victoria and Western Australia will face off at midday tomorrow, championship game. The winner of this will play South Australia in a chance for bronze. Around the back shot there, just missing wide. Yeah, winner of this game to play South Australia for the bronze medal. Shot from Kumar. Back of the net. Henry Kumar. And the loser of today to play the Australian under-21 team in a 5th and 6th playoff. Might see if we can get you an update from the women's side of things. As Western Australia play South Australia in that one, the winner to play Victoria in the championship game as Taylor wins it forward well. Goes to himself and keeps possession. Fluker gets the contact and he's had a flag thrown on him. This will probably stop. Queensland not really attacking the cage there, so Fluker will go serve a minute for a slash. So Queensland trying to make the most of the man-up opportunity there, and Taylor looking for the big crease dive. Just slides out the side of the stick and out of bounds, but he's gone through the crease and a violation, meaning New South Wales will take the ball forward. And on the far side of the field, I can see plenty of yellow jerseys running up pitch. Celebratory hugs going on, so if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that Western Australia have got the job done, but we'll just confirm that for you. New South Wales just waiting for the troops to arrive from the box. And they'll go through Estaclay now. Takes on his man, keeps going. Was there a moving screen in there? No, play on. Free arm, no, play on. Pass misses both Cliff and Nolf, but Nolf good enough to put his head over and win it back. The pressure comes now. Is that another free arm? No, let go. And a good call, timeout there from New South Wales. Tyler Nolf under plenty of pressure, but able to withstand it and survive. So we've got about 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. New South Wales leading 3-1 over Queensland. So Western Australia with right to be happy on the far field, winning 8-7 over South Australia. They will advance to the championship final against Victoria. Those times for the finals tomorrow. We'll start with the women's matches. We've got third and fourth, so that will be Queensland and South Australia playing at 9 a.m, followed by the championship match, Victoria and Western Australia at 2 p.m. That will be live streamed here by the Australian Lacrosse Network on Facebook, YouTube, and KO Freebies. If you missed out, we were on KO Freebies previously with our match Western Australia, South Australia. Spread the word, get as many people as you can involved. On the men's side of things, tomorrow we have 8 a.m, nice and early. The loser of this game, Queensland or New South Wales, taking on the under-21 Australian team. At 10 a.m, third versus fourth, the third place playoff, a moving pick out there, so the ball will head the way of Queensland. So 10 a.m, third versus fourth. So that will be South Australia versus the winner of Queensland or New South Wales. And then our final, the men's final at 12 p.m, Victoria taking on Western Australia. WA getting the win earlier in the week, but the Vics have hit their straps. As we turn our attention back to this game here as New South Wales bring the ball back down the field. Esther Clay beats his man. Just hangs it out a little bit and the trail check is good. Close just a little, letting his free arm potentially move a little bit. The play is let go. Plenty of pressure, but settles things down. You'll find the free man now in Shield. Kicks across the top to Taylor. Looks their preferred direction to goal, Daniel Taylor. Gets his free hands. It was a nice look, but shot just across the face. Taylor once again feeds the top, but intercepted. Plenty of work to do now. It's Hamilton in pursuit. Is there a push in the back? No. Seems that we're just putting the whistle away and letting this one run for the moment. It won't matter because Shield keeps it for Queensland. Down to Taylor. If I were the New South Wales team, I'd be finding a man out to Taylor because he's fed Padmanabhan again, and his second goal is Queensland's second goal. And it's a 3-2 ball game all of a sudden. Taylor once again finding the free man, just New South Wales losing touch from their player, giving him too much space and making life difficult for goalie Tim Kudrin. Lua and Kumar go battle again in the middle, and it's Kumar that comes up with it. And we've got a flag on the play now. What's the call going to be? So Aaron Law is going to serve 30 seconds for a push. And I would suggest that we're inside the game clock. So I wouldn't be surprised if New South Wales just try and hold the ball here for possession. We'll see if they have the recognition to try and keep the ball. The call from the box now is being called to just hold it. And that is why the whistle will go. So they'll have about 20 or 25 seconds left on their man up when we return from the first break. 3-2 the lead to New South Wales. Both teams looking for their first win. We might take a short break ourselves. Be back with you very shortly for the second quarter here between Queensland and New South Wales. Welcome back to New South Wales taking on Queensland here in our final match of the day. The final day of regulation play. New South Wales starting the second quarter man up. Queensland looking to rush, and good knockdown there, but well collected ground ball from New South Wales, and Bren shot just a little wide as Queensland go back to a man-on-man situation. Orbiton. Well defended there from Retty, but big shot there from Brandon. He's pulled it across the same way, but they don't have the backup on this occasion. Queensland will take the ball now. And the Maroons with the clearance. Retty with Shield. A big slide from Hopkinson there, threw the whole body at it, but nearly found himself out of position, but manages to get back now. Taylor. Gilmore guarding, burns past him, winds up, big shot. Bounces, looking to get that into the top part of the goal, but just missing wide. We'll keep the ball. Shield. Burns past Hopkinson, feeds the crease. He nearly had the free hands to get the shot off himself. Taylor now, free hands, and hits the back of the net himself. He was the distributor earlier, but now he is the goal scorer. Dan Taylor with his first of the afternoon. Levelling the scores at 3 apiece. We have a game on our hands. Kumar and Lua meet again once. Meet once again in the middle. As the wind just picks up a little. Good contest in the middle, but it's Kumar that wins it and can't find the ground ball though. Fluker and Taylor go for the ground ball there. I think as Fluker went to kick that one forward, he's copped a bit of piece of stick, so it'll be brought back. But he makes up for it and dispossesses Taylor. I'm not sure where the flag was there. That looked absolutely clean to me. And he doesn't even know it, Angus Fluker. I think he's been pretty unlucky there. If anything, after the dispossession, maybe there was a bit of playing without the stick from Queensland, but it's not going to matter because they've turned it over anyway. And Hamilton will head upfield and use Neil. Burns past one. He's got, if anything, there was a couple of slashes there. I think we might have to put the stripes on potentially, but it's obviously you see different things on the field, so benefit of the doubt to our officials. I think we're going to have a timeout. Oh no, we've got a flag down. And another flag on the box as well, so potentially a second one on the, maybe was there an unsportsmanlike or something in the mix as well. We'll wait for the call from our officials. There were 2 flags thrown. So there's Padmanabhan is sitting for 30 seconds for, I think it was a hold. And maybe they were offside too, Queensland. So they've got to play 2-man down for, well, it's at least 30 seconds. So New South Wales really need to capitalise here. Well moved and great finish there from Dave Estaclay. Dave Estaclay putting that one in the back of the net to give New South Wales the lead. And we've got a timeout called on New South Wales. So one of those penalties will still sit for Queensland, but I wouldn't have thought there'd be too much longer left on it. And it feels like it's dropped a couple of degrees the last 15 minutes or so. Look at our goal scorers. Queensland, Dan Taylor, the man that they like to go through, but he's fed Sid Padmanabhan a couple of times and he's hit the back of the net twice. Kumar looking good in the middle. He has one. Landell's with the first of the game. Estaclay with the most recent and Neil with the other for New South Wales. 4-3. Just under 9 minutes remaining. The wind picks up, maybe a little bit of rain out there. Temperature definitely has dropped. And New South Wales will find themselves a man up. Hard to know for how much longer. But it couldn't be more than a couple of seconds, I would have thought. And well won there from Luag. Feels a contact. Fluker, good check. however, nearly takes the ground ball, but follows up. Was there an off-ball pick there? Yep, you can't do that. Saul Orbiton just, it was a good footy shepherd, but you have to be standing still when you set those screens. You can't interfere with the free run of the player, so Queensland will keep the ball, or regain the ball, sorry, Shield. They're running Richards again with the long stick down in attack. But he comes to the box now. Pat Manaban returning to the field. Taylor as well. Spent a little bit of time in the coach's box just before. It's a difficult role splitting the playing and coaching, but he seems to be doing a good job of it so far. Pat Manaban drives low, gets the free hands. Was there a hold in there? Yep. But it's not going to matter because he's hit the back of the cage. Fantastic finish. Absolutely all tied up in there, but still able to get the shot off, get the free hands and hit the back of the net. That flag will be cancelled because it was just a 30 seconds. Well, it should be cancelled. Get all tied up, and as he was going to the ground, well, there was probably a late hit there, so maybe a little unlucky not to have a New South Wales player sent to the box as he went to ground. But regardless, Queensland hit the back of the net. Pat Manaban with his third. And for a team that's sort of struggled to score this week, they would absolutely be loving this. 4 apiece, halfway through the second quarter. And Taylor beats Kumar out to Reti. And a loose push on called on New South Wales. So Taylor will take the ball forward for the Maroons. And just like in the Origin the other night, it's Queensland that potentially the underdogs have stepped up and are bringing the challenge to New South Wales. They'll move the ball through X, but they've lost it a bit here. Playing some hockey with it, flicking it out to the side. Who's going to come up with it? It's a loose ball in the middle. We do have a whistle. And it's going to go the way of New South Wales now. Clearing up the line. Josh Yeoman this time. Kicks across to Landells. He's got the heat coming from Richard. Is he up to the challenge? Maybe he had a bit of a ward off on that stick. I thought he even might have had a grab of it, to be honest. Was there a slash on the back of the helmet there? Brush play on. Now we've got a flag, so potentially something said downfield. No, someone's run offside. So there is a New South Wales player in the box. I counted 3 back there for New South Wales, potentially too many on, but it's not going to matter because Dan Taylor goes himself and drives hard on that bottom crease, getting topside and finishing strongly. Bangs in his second, Dan Taylor. And the Queenslanders have the lead, courtesy of coach Dan Taylor. Came in the right, put it in the left, burnt hard. The slide didn't come. And Queensland have hit the lead. Lua and Kumar once again in the middle. Lua tries to flick forward, but it's Kumar this time without much luck because he sent it straight to a maroon jersey. Lua just looks a little unsettled, so he rolls back and finds his coach. Plenty of pressure coming from Angus Fluker. But they'll settle. Shanahan. Down to West. The heat comes from Yeoman, so flicks back. They probably want the ball in their coach's hands, I would have thought. Shield wants to go from X, but Hopkinson beaten on the roll inside Shield, and another flag. Simultaneous flags this time. We're going to pause the clocks to just discuss what the calls were. So Brody Shield is going to serve some time for the simultaneous foul of going in the crease, while Henry Kumar laid a cross check. So we've got 5v5 out there. Luca applying the pressure on Taylor. Should be a good matchup, this one. We've got another flag thrown. So Fluker will serve another 1 minute. Number 5 will serve another 1 minute. And New South Wales will be 2 men down now. Padmanabhan finds Taylor, and the two of them are just tearing this game apart. The dynamic duo, and don't they love it? Dan Taylor hitting the back of the net once again. 3 goals apiece, Taylor and Padmanabhan. They've nearly assisted in each other on each of the goals. And we've got a timeout for Queensland, and why not? 2 men up with about 2 minutes left in the quarter. And now 2 goals up. So plenty to think about for New South Wales. Haven't been quite as dominant in the middle. Bit of discipline costing them. Maybe a little bit unlucky on a few, but they just need to restrain themselves a little. Get their head back in the game. Back in the middle after that timeout. It will just be the 1v3 in the middle for New South Wales, with 2 players in the box. No, sorry, one of those penalties has been released. So just 1 free wing for Queensland, and that's where Taylor comes from to take the ground ball off to Lua. Down to Padmanabhan. Up to Richards. Down to Taylor, driving that corner. Big hit on the crease. And bodies flying everywhere now. Sticks flying everywhere. Who's going to come up with it? Taylor puts his head over it and says, yep, my ball. Well done from Dan Taylor. Kicks across the Lua. Does he step down for the shot? No, he doesn't. Uses the long stick in Richards. He's got the pressure coming out on him. They're going to be careful not to give away another penalty here in New South Wales. They've already got one in the box, and well backed up there by Padmanabhan. That's another one fly in the top right corner. Doesn't he love it? You love to see it. That's his 4th goal. And he's tearing this game apart. Sid Padmanabhan. Well backed up and just fires in the top right corner. How do you like that? 3-goal lead to Queensland. Even strength out on the field now. This is a crucial face-off for New South Wales now. Kumar tries to win it forward. It just stays where it is. Able to nearly flick it back, but it gets stuck. Is there a push on blue? There is, so it is going to go the way of New South Wales. And with about 20 seconds left, it's pretty important to try and get one here, New South Wales. They'll need to push the goal. Esther Clay. Back up to Bren, now Nolf. Nice move from Landals. Rolls himself into trouble though. The double comes, good save. Hackett up to the task as Richards got plenty of pressure. Was there a bar there? Yep, there was. So there's a flag down. And I think New South Wales will start the third quarter with another man in the box. That'd be the 5th or 6th at least time they've sent a player into the penalty box. Just giving Queensland too many looks at man-up opportunities. We'll see if they try and drive the cage here or just keep possession. With the coach out on the field, often you might not get that message too clearly out there to the players out there, but Taylor's shot deflected, out off blue, and it will go the way of Queensland. And they've turned it over. Queensland, New South Wales just need to keep possession here. It's in front of Fluker. Can he run onto it? He does. Over the top to Esther Clay. And it's a big possession from New South Wales there. Well done from Angus Fluker to pick up that ground ball and give the Blues possession. But they trail by 3 as we head into the main break. 7-4 the lead to Queensland. We'll take a quick break ourselves shortly. Dan Taylor and Sid Padmanabhan, the dominators for Queensland. Still the same goal scorers, Neil, Esther Clay, Kumar and Landals from New South Wales. We've seen that Kumar and Padmanabhan and Taylor have torn this game apart, and it's great to see the passion out there, and he's just loving life too. So we might take a short break ourselves. We'll be back very shortly for the second half here. Don't go anywhere. We're set for a thrilling finish. Welcome back to the contest between Queensland and New South Wales here at the 2022 Senior National Championships. Queensland leading 7-4, dominating proceedings in that first half after a bit of a slow start. With New South Wales wanting to answer, and they do so quickly through Kumar. Pressure comes from Queensland. New South Wales now driving that bottom corner, shot off. Good save there, keeping it out of play, and a big dive there from Greg Brand. I'm not sure if it was necessary, but you can see the desperation regardless. And well done there from Fluker. He beats one, he beats a second, and does the team thing and kicks back to Landels. Now through Esther Clay. He's got Cliff cutting in the middle, but just continues to carry. I'd like to see New South Wales try and send the cutters from the top. They try to look now, but good pace in there from Taylor. Once again, he's been far and away the best player out in the ground. Just sends it up the line. Asks a lot of his teammate. Well won there from Yeoman, who just sends it back from whence it came. Inside to Landels, he's got Cliff wide open. Another big save there from Hackett. And he's hit the man on the release, and if they can get the ball across here, they could be through. Pass, not fantastic, just behind Shield there. Asked a lot of him. So it will come back the other way now. Hamilton using his keeper in Kudrin. Kicks across. Yeoman. He's got Neil up the line. He'll carry. He can go inside to Orbiton. Nolf. Esther Clay and Cliff. Big drive there from Landels. Big slide, big hit. Huge hip and shoulder. That was a big hit there. So we're just checking what the calls were. Maybe it was a New South Wales player in the crease there, potentially. But Queensland have turned the ball over again, and another flag on the play. So plenty of ill discipline out there at the moment. So it's Braden West that sits down for a minute. Golden opportunity for Queensland, for New South Wales, sorry, to work their way back into this one. Trail by 3, early stages of the third quarter. Plenty of time to work their way back into it. Orbiton. Landels. Needs to move the ball. Is he being tripped there? Thought there might have been a little bit of interference, but paid the price for not moving the ball on. If you try and do too much, especially on the man up, Hopkinson applies the pressure. Shield just sends it high and asks his coach to kill the penalty. He's going to take it high, nearly as high as he can, all the way to the centre line. He can probably just stay here and kill the clock. Yeoman does approach. And the second comes, Bren. Swim move there from Taylor. We've got a whistle on the box. So, not too sure what the call was. It's illegal on Queensland. I don't know why. but will play on. They look to have had numbers even across the field. No offside from what I could see, but potentially something off ball. And that is often the case, that the referees on the box are looking for things that not many others are keeping an eye on. Big shot there from Orton, misses wide, but once again, they don't have that shot back up. So things just not quite clicking for New South Wales at the moment. The shot was there, but you have to make sure that things are set up in place to get that ball back should you miss. And now we're back to even Stevens on the playing numbers side of things. Penalty over for Queensland. Taylor wants that right-hand lane. The slide comes. Where's the extra number here for Queensland? They just don't quite move it quick enough, or miss ground ball there from Shield. Can Hopkinson put up the pressure on? Good ground ball there. Can't quite keep it. Goes again. Well done there from Hopkinson. Needs to move it on. Just the one hand. Just stucks in the long stick, but gets it back again and out again. So Taylor will take it away. Looks inside. Is his man, Padmanaman, out there? He is on the crease, but this time he looks for West instead. And it looks like Sid Padmanaman's got a bit more attention on him this time than he did in the first half. Niall Hamilton keeping a close eye on him in there. West, looked like a free arm there, but he's turned it over anyway. New South Wales will take it up the other end. Numbers wide open in the middle. Kumar and Neil by themselves just get the ball in the middle. Needs to kick it. There's numbers everywhere. Needs to pass the ball. Tries to go all himself and pays off this time. Saul Orbiton does it himself and hits the back of the net. We do have a Queensland player down. Hopefully nothing too serious. Is Jackson Close. He's got weight on that leg and he's just limping gingerly to the bench, but he looks okay, just stretching it out. Unfortunately, we did see what we believe is a serious injury earlier in the day. Potentially Peter Cross hurting himself. Great to see so many people tuning in to watch this one. Parmida, let's go New South Wales boys. Well, they've lifted, another one there. James Dawson tuning in, Dave Margulis. Wants the boys to play. Wants the ref to take a seat back and maybe just put the whistle away for a second. Alex Rickard wants the Queensland team to keep going. We've got quite a game on our hands as we close out, or we move to the closing stages of the third term. There was definitely a free arm in there, but that's let go. Ball off red, it's Kumar in pursuit. If he can take it and go, he does. And New South Wales got space now, one pass. Where's the extra? Two. Gets to Clay, shovel, pipe. Much better movement without the result this time though, and great ground ball there. Queensland away once again. Lua, they have the outnumber, but they've collapsed well. Well done there from Bren. Fluker off the box. Arrived in control. Often easy off that box to land in the rear of a player, but did so to get topside and put on the big check. Taylor, they need to work out a plan of how to deal with him because he's just tearing this game apart at the moment. That surely isn't a shot. It will be called a shot though. And Fluker reads that one, gets the stick in the way, body's on the line, Fluker keeps it in front of him. Good hustle there, and plenty of body off the ball from Queensland. You can't do that, so it will be a New South Wales ball. So we get another set here, New South Wales. Trailing by 2. About 5 minutes left in this one. Neal drops the shoulder, rides the contact and smartly kicks it out. Nolf back out the top to Bren. Free left hand, pulls it across the body. Estaclay backs up, so the New South Wales will keep the ball. Well move there from Landals. Finds that bottom right corner. What a finish. Great move in there and a tidy finish to find that bottom right corner. Ryan Landals puts New South Wales back within a goal. Just saw the matchup that he liked, drove hard. And a great finish. Putting it to the far corner. Kumar once again wins it for New South Wales. Flicks out. Landals, has he got the tying goal here? He put plenty of pepper on that one. That misses just wide. Shot back up there for New South Wales though. Crowd has just dwindled a little bit, but it has dropped quite, the temperature has dropped quite significantly. But still a few people around watching the end of this one. And why not? We're set for a great finish here. Remember, tomorrow's action coming to you live from the Footscray Lacrosse Club here at Angliss Reserve. Finals day here of the Nationals. As the ball's filtered back and a little unfortunate there for Niall Hamilton. Just copped a piece of his foot and out of bounds. Jackson Close, good to see him back out there after a little knock earlier. Under plenty of pressure, big push. He's in the side, so we'll play on. Shield, just Burns, Hopkinson. And there'll be a loose ball push, so it'll go the way of Queensland. Shield to get things back underway now. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this third term. 1 goal lead to Queensland. Nice little move there, Swim. I think that's hit the outside of the net. So the Queensland the New South Wales, no, the Queensland fans, sorry, have gone up there. But when they saw the net ripple, didn't quite see that it hit the outside of the cage. So New South Wales, can they turn those frowns upside down? Ball loose. The intensity over the ground balls has been fantastic so far. Another foul, but plenty of bodies on the line. Yeah, the Queenslanders this week certainly have maybe struggled against the stronger, skilled opponents, but they haven't left anything out on the park physically. They have thrown everything at it as Estaclay drives there, and a huge save there from Hackett. And they've certainly let their team, their opponents, feel their presence. And they've come up against them. West. He's just going to have to settle things because they are a man down. Yeah, behind the player thought so that's common sense officiating there. So Queensland player just rolled the ball away from his opponent, but referee, rather than throwing a flag for something that probably pretty lightweight, just let him know next time, don't do it. Or if you do, you'll be sitting some time in the box. And great finish there from Dave Esterclay to level things up here at 7 apiece. His second goal of the night. And just New South Wales have settled things down, kept out of the box, and been able to draw level here, 7 apiece. Handy finish on the far side, driving around that right corner. Lua and Kumar once again. Henry has had the better of his opponent so far tonight, but Queensland have hustled so well in the middle on the ground balls, led by Dan Taylor, and he just heads to the sidelines and says, "I'd like to time out, please." If he knew how long was left, maybe might not have called the timeout. You'd probably rather have a couple up your sleeve should things get close in the last quarter, but gives him a chance to run one little play here, about 30 seconds remaining. So New South Wales trailing by 3 goals at the half have stepped up and really put their foot down now. Game at 7 apiece. Just under a minute to play. It was a long time out, it felt like. So you'd hope Queensland can make the most of this opportunity. It'll be Aaron Lua with the ball in the centre, kicking things back underway. Off to Shanahan, now down to Shield. Back up the top. Just a little turnover there from Lua. Fluker good enough to just scramble and hold out for support, but intercepted there from Richards. Moves it down the line. Taylor beats one. Does he get the shot off? Big check from the side there from Yeoman. And it's absolutely decked Taylor here. That was not very pretty. He just wound up from behind Yeoman. I think he's probably got Taylor right in the side. We've seen a flag frenzy. That one probably should have been there. But referee's probably just blindsided potentially on that one. Taylor will take a spell as Queensland keep possession. Swim move there from Shield, beats his man, feeds inside. Padmanaband looking for another. They collapse the crease and feed out to Fluker. He's got absolutely nothing on, so he's just has to turn around and buy himself some time, and does well to get to Kudrin. And they run out the clock, so that is the third quarter complete. New South Wales putting in 3 unanswered goals in that term to go into the final quarter at 7 goals apiece. Just the 2 goal scorers for Queensland. Dan Taylor with his 3 and Sid Padmanaband with 4 goals. Both of those goal scorers taking place in the first half. Whereas for New South Wales, Dave Estaclay and Ryan Landell stepping up in this quarter, hitting the back of the net. Saul Alberton also scoring to help the scoreline back to an even ledger with just one 15-minute quarter to play. Reminder, the winner of this one will go on to play South Australia in the bronze medal playoff. The loser will take on the under-21 Australian team in a 5th place playoff. We'll just take a quick break and be back with you very shortly. Welcome back to the final quarter here between Queensland and New South Wales. Just joining you a little bit late, but we should have the vision for you. And it's going to be Queensland starting the quarter with a man in the box. Ethan Richards called for a foul there. Lights in full effect here at Angliss Reserve. Orbiton just winds up. Did he have the shot back up? Just. Does he go again? Sure does. And he's successful this time. Classy finish there from Saul Orbiton. Hits the back of the net, and we've got a timeout on New South Wales. So the Blues will maximise this man-up opportunity as they go a goal up. That last one, Orbiton just take 2, going again, and does a good job. So as we were saying earlier, plenty more action coming up tomorrow. Keep an eye out on the Australia Lacrosse Network Facebook page and Lacrosse Australia's social media channels for details about who's playing when, what time, who's playing who, and some of the final standings. All of that information will be confirmed after this match. Our round play completed after this game. We're into playoffs and finals matches tomorrow. We're set to get restarted. Reminder, Queensland still have one in the penalty box. So Kumar wins that forward. They've got numbers around the ball, New South Wales. But Queensland hustle well, and Fluker in there quickly. Wins the ground ball. Sends it down. It's a remarkable achievement for Angus Luca this week. Just 15 years of age, so he looks like he belongs out there at this level. Cliff. Does Queensland go even again, and the extra numbers gotten to New South Wales because they've turned it over straight away. Ball up the field. Finds Suffolk. Plenty of heat comes and moves across to Richards, who has a short stick in his hands now. Plenty of attention from Bren, but Richards goes all the way, gets the left, and good save there. Did he cop a late push there, Richards? Play on. Moves inside to Orbiton. Down to Greg Bren. Shot off. He's had a couple like that, just pulling across the body, and we do have a flag on the play. Queensland just running offside, so a little bit of sloppiness coming into it now. And they're a player short in defence, I think. No, they've got the 5 out there. And New South Wales just losing sight of the ball. And they're going to keep it in. Yep. Huge contact there from Richards. Tara, glad I'm not out there. Shot. Just a bit of a piece on there from Hackett onto the pipe and pushes it away. Strong goalkeeping. We're back to even strength. Bren up high. Shot there. Good piece in the way of it by the Queensland defender. Just deflects it out of bounds. Nolf needs to move the ball and does. Drive on that bottom corner from Landell's. Plenty of heat from Queensland. Gets one off and a great finish there. Rode the contact. One after another came, and he just rode the bumps all the way through to a goal. Landell's hitting the back of the net on that occasion. Lua and Kuma meet in the middle. So after leading by 4 goals, we've had a 6-goal swing the way of New South Wales. Queensland are just letting their lead slip, and they've got work to do if they're to try and push this one further. Players in the middle will need to work this one out, just tussling for it at the moment. Is there a push in the back on Lua? Yep. He'll go the way of Queensland. Taylor was good early, been a little quiet after the break. And that's a coach killer. Just a simple turnover for Queensland. Neil in the middle. Bren. Not over and back in there. You have to check it into your front third before you do have an over and back call. Esther Clay. Looks like a little bit of rain is set in. Pass at the top. Just well read from Richards. Plenty of pressure there from Orbiton. He's got it, the long stick in the one-hand cradle. Impressive move, that one. He's gone all the way, moves it on to the left. Great save there from Coutrin in the cage. And a good outlet as well. Bren is got a free line in front of him that Taylor fills in now. about halfway through this final term, and Neil a little lucky there, just the awareness not quite there for Edwards, and still hangs it out this time, but another whistle, probably just a loose ball push. So New South Wales will maintain possession. Esther Clay. Nice roll move there, feeds the crease. Landale's little underhand shovel, but saved again from Hackett. He's been big to keep Queensland in it. They'll need to move the ball now quickly, Queensland. Lua. This is where a timeout might have been handy for Queensland. They still have the one remaining. Kumar just lets that check loose and misses his stick, and big save there from Kudrin. Oh, that has to be a foul there. Padmanabhan arriving high with the crossbar. And he's going to sit down for a minute. Big hit. Fluker just slipping a little bit, probably didn't help him. I'm not too sure why yeah, there we go. The ball needs to start from the middle. There's a little confusion out there. Orbiton just needs to make the ball work. They are a man up here, so they don't need to do anything silly, New South Wales. That's a foul, has to be. Doesn't matter though, because he's put it away in the right corner. Once more, Saul Orbiton for New South Wales' 10th goal. New South Wales is number 9, putting that one in the back of the net. To move ahead to a 3-goal lead and make things a little difficult with about 6 minutes to play for Queensland. It's been quite the contest that we've had on our hands. Been great to watch. You can tell how much it means for both teams to try and get that win on the board. And Kumar just wins a facer, but can't collect in the middle. They've got even numbers back out there now, Queensland. Kumar gets it loose, and Fluker on the outside wins the ground ball once again. Sends it across to Neil, lets one loose. Pete's there from Hackett. Deflects it wide. They can probably manage things a little now, New South Wales. No need to put the foot down so much. And just a simple turnover there, so it's exactly what they didn't want. Queensland need to be near perfect from here. Long ball up the middle. Wide open was Shanahan. You need to keep running though. Over to Belcher. Wins the ground ball. Beats one. The second comes. Fluker still on him. Orton wins possession. Kicks it down, but there was a timeout called. Did Queensland have the ball when it was called? Our box officials say yes, they did. So Queensland will use their final timeout. So with just over 4 minutes remaining, Queensland needing 3 goals. To be honest, I'm not too sure whether we go to overtime or not in round robin play. We could probably check with our officials. So we're under the impression that we will go to overtime should scores be levelled. But of course, to get there, Queensland need 3 more goals. Fluker applying the pressure on Richards. Flag is thrown once again. And I think they're going to call him for a hold here. So golden opportunity, Queensland, to cut the margin down to 2, but they'll have to do it pretty swiftly. Hamilton recognises the danger, cuts off that pass to Padmanabhan, but Taylor goes himself, cuts across the crease, but he's ended up in there himself. So New South Wales will take possession. There'll be a man down when they bring it back in. Good run up the line from Neil, and the penalty has ended, so they're even again. Cliff under plenty of pressure. Conway there, not giving him an inch. And with about 3 minutes remaining, New South Wales can just manage the clock here, but Alberton's got different plans. That's one loose. Good save. Ball back in play. Brenton lets one loose. He's had a couple of looks today without much luck. So the comeback win looking more and more less likely for Queensland the longer New South Wales just hold it out. But they've certainly been valiant. They've forced the turnover here if they can get the ground ball first. Clever pass inside, nice little flick. And they have to go straight away. Feed across to Taylor, down to Padmanabhan. Can he get one quickly? He can. That duo once again teaming up. So we will stop the clock at 2 minutes. So they'll need a goal a minute effectively. But anything is possible. They'll need to be pretty switched on in the middle, Queensland. Will need possession, and if they lose it, they'll need to get it back pretty quick smart. Good battle again from Kumar and Lua. The ball's out. Fluker just hacks it forward. I think we've got a little break there from Cliff. Might have just stepped on the line before the possession was called. So Queensland will take the ball. There was no whistle to restart that, so we'll have to take it back. Now we can get going from there. Ready. We've got a flag down, so a huge opportunity for Queensland all of a sudden. Taylor. Does he go himself? He does. He finds the top left corner. This is unbelievable stuff from Queensland. And we're back to a 1-goal ball game. Dan Taylor with 4 goals. Unbelievable stuff. And have we got a timeout? Because I think if Queensland's called a timeout, it is an illegal call. They've already used the 2, so this will be heartbreaking for Queensland if they've made a little admin error here. The goal should still count. because anything would have been after the goal. Just trying to see what our officials are working out at the moment. So they've disallowed the goal. Or they're pointing the way of, or is it just a New South Wales possession?
Bench says goal's all clear.
Right, so the goal is all clear. Yeah, so it's an illegal procedure on Queensland. I reckon they've called a timeout after shooting that goal. They haven't realised that they've used both timeouts. That's the downside if you don't have a coach on the box, just keeping track of those things. But hey, anything's possible. Minute and a half is a long time when you only trail by one. It's just the one opportunity now. Moving pick there, so they're going to get the ball back straight away. Wow, the rain is coming down and the drama is absolutely lifting here. Straight up the line, Taylor. He's going to be the man, I think. If there's anyone out there that's going to level the scores, he is the one. Get the ball to Dan Taylor. Although Sid Padmanaman also not afraid of going himself, and he has! Unbelievable! Sid Padmanaman, and doesn't he like it too? Well, we were asking about overtime before, and I'm glad that we did. 3 goals in the space of 3 minutes for Queensland, and they could win this in regulation time the way that they're playing at the moment. This is incredible. They just let Padmanaman on the inside. Numbers didn't come, and he got the shot off. Unbelievable. 50 seconds, 40 seconds, 40 seconds. Who can be the hero? New South Wales, Queensland. Ball in the middle. Lua wins it forward. It's out the back. Lua, has he got his head over it? He does, but Fluker does what a collapse. Fluker, fantastic ground ball in there from Angus Fluker. And a timeout from New South Wales. Clever there. So they'll have about 25 seconds. We'll check that in a second. All the score. We might just have a look at our goal scorers in this break. It's an interesting scoreline for Queensland. Dan Taylor and Sid Padmanaban just saying, come on boys, jump in our shoulders and come with us. Let's get the job done. And the rain is set in now. I think it's just drifting across the field here at Angus Reserve, just adding to the drama. Who can be the hero? For New South Wales, Dave Estaclay's been good. Saul Orbiton has been the one that's backed himself. 29 seconds remaining. Orbiton's going to start with the ball. Do they go straight away or do they try and get the ball around? Let's start it with Orbiton. Ball will swing at the top. Drive from Landell's. Can he get the shot off? They collapsed well. Queensland, was there a hold on there? No, they're going to get it upfield. Taylor just heaves it up the field. Down the other end, Padmanaman's found himself in space, but is headed behind the cage. And that is the whistle, 10 apiece. That is regulation time. So we'll go to OT. We've got a bunch of officials next to us, so stay with us. We'll just confirm with those guys exactly what we're going to be bringing you. So we're going to have a 2-minute break here. We'll have a coin toss to decide which end we're going to play to. Golden goal. First goal will win the match. No timeouts. Should we not have a goal, we're playing 4-minute quarters. So 4 minutes expire, we will change ends and go again. What a finish. Glad we stuck around for this one. 10-all, New South Wales, Queensland. And you can just tell how much it means for both teams. New South Wales looked home and hosed. They looked set for all money. So here we go. First goal wins. 4-minute quarters. Kumar and Lua in the middle. Kumar's won it forward for New South Wales. He gets his body behind it, kicks it forward. Can he go all the way himself? Henry Kumar drops the shoulder. Numbers come, gets onto the left. Big check there from Richards. Deflects to Hackett. Comes down the other way. They can't clear the ball though, Queensland. Orbiton now. He's just going to settle. Get Numbers back on the field. So it's New South Wales with the first real look at winning this one. Nolf. Up to Bren. Esther Clay. Great defense there from Richards. Needs the help at the top. No one's moving for him. He's getting absolutely smashed down there, but the double comes. No movement there from New South Wales, and they've turned it over, but can they keep the ball down their end? Landells does well. Taylor head over it, but not good enough. Landells just fantastic ground ball. Two come at him. Is there a free arm? Yep. That loose arm must have just pushed off. So Queensland will finally get a chance to settle clear the ball. A couple of times they have won it back, but they can do it straight back to New South Wales. Up the line to Retty. I can nearly guarantee you that if Queensland are going to win it, it's going to be Dan Taylor or Sid Padmanabhan that puts the ball in the back of the net. And Taylor is all by himself at the top. If they can get the ball to him. Yeah, the tight pressure out on Taylor now. I'm not letting him get anywhere near the ball, but in the process, so they've opened things up, Queensland. Was there a flag there? They're going to let it go. Pass. Well, one from New South Wales. Great defense. Pass up the line. Landells beats his man. Can he tuck it in? Feeds the crease and Cliff just can't quite reel it in. How about the drama here? Richards, Lua wide open, so he can just carry it down to Taylor. Smart thinking, getting him the ball at the top. And watch the hole empty here. He's got the in front of him all to himself. Breaks his man, swims another, gets a shot off low! Dan Taylor, the winner for Queensland! The playing coach and the players have stormed the field. What a win for Queensland. What a finish. A couple of calls of Queenslander from the bench. Unbelievable. What a win for Queensland. Dominant in the first half. They may as well have not come out to play after half-time in the third quarter, but Loke back up with a couple of minutes to play in regulation time. Did enough to send it to overtime, and when it looked like they were down and out, losing possession in the middle, giving it back a couple of times, who else but playing coach Dan Taylor to score the winning goal, and what a winning goal it was. Unbelievable stuff. Look at that score sheet for Queensland. Dan Taylor, 5 goals. Sid Padmanabhan, 6. You can just imagine that there would have been a few assists in there as well. Unbelievable stuff. Landell's finishes with 3. You know, close to the winner for New South Wales, but not quite. Orbiton with 3 as well. And an unbelievable match. And the rain's just cleared now here at Angliss Reserve. We're set for I'm sure the Queensland guys are going to be set for a big night, so they'll play South Australia in the bronze medal playoff tomorrow morning as we have a look at some of the better moments of tonight. Orbiton from the 4th quarter. Orbiton, when it looked like it was going to be the winner. A huge goal there as well, but Queensland able to fight their way back. Unbelievably, Orbiton again. But Dan Taylor and Sid Padmanabhan were the ones that did the job for Queensland. And that's a memorable win for the Queenslanders. What a week to be a Queenslander. Got up in the Origin and up in National Championship Lacrosse too. Padmanabhan, how about that one? Didn't he love it too? What a goal. Dan Taylor, the winning goal. Draws the man. Slide comes. Swim move. Low to low. And that is the winner. Unbelievable stuff. We might leave it there for this one. Queensland 11-10 winners. What a game of lacrosse we just witnessed. And you know what? There's even more lacrosse coming your way tomorrow. Stay tuned to the ALN and Lacrosse Australia Facebook and social media channels for all of the action coming your way. From the 2022 Senior National Championships here at Angliss Reserve of the Footscray Lacrosse Club, I'm Lachlan Williams, signing off for tonight. See you tomorrow.